Welcome to the Important Questions Podcast, the podcast that's as refreshing as soup on a hot fucking day. My name is Dave.
Ouch.
Thank you. I came up with it at fucking Firehouse Subs when I had soup at a hot day.
That sounds rough, dude.
Cold soup?
What kind
This is
of
not
soup?
refreshing at all. God,
It was a baked potato soup.
I had a baked
Oh, it
potato
was like
soup
a
today
creamy
for
soup,
lunch.
too.
Yeah, it was a hot day when I had it. But you know what? It was a damn good soup. I'm Dave. I'm here at the Acolytes of Knowledge. Scott, Smitty, and Rico. How you doing,
Hola.
boys?
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
All right.
Okay.
That's great.
This is the only show that answers life's most important questions. You got four of us. You got four questions. We have one listener question that we're going to warm up with this afternoon, and a brand
We have a listener
new
question.
mid-show segment brought to you by our good friend Scott.
And Rico.
So it's and Rico. Rico's got a contribution to this one as well.
We have time.
So great looking show this this fucking afternoon.
My phone just warned me that I'm under a tornado watch. So if I drop out, it's probably because I died.
What do you
It's
think
okay,
of this
it's not a
question,
warning.
Smitty?
Thank you for the input, Smitty.
We just want you to know
Are you satisfied?
we would leave that in, Smitty.
Okay.
We would leave
If you
that
died, we
in
would
for
leave,
sure.
we would
My
leave your
last
screams in the
words
podcast.
are as the roof falls on me.
Flush your
Is it getting sucked up flush through your sky?
So as I said, we have a listener submitted question here this week that we're going to warm up with. The submitter.
That sound good. It's a
Submission.
word.
creating words here.
The submission came from one Michael Hall, host of podcast Lessons with Mike.
I like
Which
Oh,
is,
a new person.
Yeah, Mike's great. We did a show.
Damn.
Mike's a good friend of the show. Scott and I went on his show a while back. Would encourage y'all to listen to that one. It's a good ass episode, and his show in general. It's a
What's the
good-ass
show called again?
Lessons with Mike,
Lessons with Mike. Okay.
and he's
Okay.
Mike from Lessons with Mike.
The
It'd be
Mike.
weird if it was like hosted by Thaddeus.
Mike wants to know, you have 15 seconds to communicate a message to the entire world. What do you say?
I pooped.
It's like you have a megaphone and you could just kind of like get yourself into everyone's brain. So everyone at the same time hears it.
So the other 13
It's
seconds
just a
of your
voice that
message-
says, I pooped.
Just
the other 13 seconds is just you grunting, right?
it's
some
silence,
farts.
and then everybody just has to sit and look around going, did I just fucking hear that? Did everybody just hear that? I mean, because that is so stupid. I don't really think too many people are gonna be like, hey, a voice just popped in my head and said I pooped. Because I don't know, unless the other person's like immediately like, me too, they'd probably be like, I don't know, it's kind of weird, man.
That's like just benign enough to where everyone would turn around and be like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Who the fuck
Did you
said
say
that?
something?
Yeah.
No, I thought you said something.
Did somebody take a shit
No.
here?
You could do the
I
whole
don't
like
see a shit.
you could tell everybody on Earth. Well, I mean, a good portion of the people on Earth are not going to understand what you said, but
No, everyone speaks English on Earth. This many.
okay. You could say something like, "You're now breathing manually," or "Your tongue doesn't fit comfortably in your
I
mouth."
lost the game.
I lost the game. Yeah, there you go. Another one.
I would steal Scott's answer, except I would add the word fucking. I fucking
I am
pooped.
poop fucking.
So these people, these people here, I pooped, and then like 15 minutes later, they hear I fucking pooped from a different voice. Like, what the fuck is going on?
It's just consecutive.
Yeah,
So it's 15 seconds of Scott, then 15 seconds of Dave, then Rico. and then-
Mine would be a PSA on the importance of flushing urinals. And I have nothing for the women.
Flush the urinal, men. Women, fuck you.
I got
Got
nothing
nothing
for
for
the
ya.
women.
Yeah.
Who's that? Fuck yeah, that's what I would tell them.
Thanks, Mike.
I really
benign.
like that answer. That's super benign and funny.
Yeah,
I would
like-
say
I
listen
pooped.
to the Mike Lessons with Mike podcast.
it would be the
That's what I was telling
most like minimal way to get a change in the not that you're changing anything for history, but like you would see a huge reaction potentially from everybody in the world about the most dumb thing ever.
With some like Chinese guy, it like has an English phrase pop up in his brain. Like
That phrase
he's
would go
out
down in history
harvesting
the way that
coconuts or
like
something.
Neil Armstrong, like when he walked on the moon, like his first words, Those words would be as iconic as that.
Yeah, but there's less lead up to it. They're like, all of a sudden on July 23rd, 2023, we just heard I pooped. And then 13 seconds later, we heard I fucking pooped.
They'd be making t-shirts of that real soon.
Top text says I pooped. Bottom text says I fucking pooped.
Or if you have I pooped on the front and then you turn around and it says I fucking pooped on the back. Merch idea.
Smitty, is your wife okay?
Well, yeah, she's okay. And also before she came into the room, she texted me and wanted to know she wanted to know, did your mic pick up my fart? And then as she walked behind me, she bumped into something and then walked past the couch and then farted again. Why?
A beer fart?
Oh, shit.
I would broadcast that fart.
What a
It
fucking
stinks,
cameo.
dude. It smells so bad.
I
Fuck
would broadcast
off,
the
dude.
fart.
Oh my god.
Mike, I would broadcast the fart.
Go
That's what I would
away.
do.
You stink.
Can you bass boost that fart?
If I could find it, I didn't actually fucking hear it.
Dave, just put in the most fucking obnoxious fart sound effect. So
I'm gonna
when
put
she
it
hears
inside.
it back.
They want to bass boost it.
Don't tell her, Smitty. Smitty, stop it.
God
Do you
damn
have
it,
another fart
Smitty.
queued up so Dave can grab it?
This shit is going off the
Grab
rails
it.
so hard.
Oh.
Let me know when you got another fart queued
Basically, Smitty's wife is trying to tell us and the world she fucking pooped.
up. Her pants.
Mike, I hope you're fucking satisfied.
That's awesome. Thanks for writing into the show, buddy.
I agree. Thank you for writing into the show.
Thanks, Michael.
Mike. It's just Mike.
Rico,
it's just
mid-yawn.
Mike. Not Michael. It's just Mike. Holy shit.
Rico mid-yawn. Rico, I don't want to miss your question this week. I don't want to pull the whole like butter question all over again. I'm still very sorry about that whole situation.
I
Wait,
felt
what?
like I was on drugs when I was listening to part of that episode. 'cause
You probably were.
I wasn't. I was sober for one reason or
shit.
another. That reason being driving. But the fact that we just completely brushed over Rico felt so awful.
The fact that you two brushed over Rico. I got you, buddy.
Oh,
I
Well, I
That
was
butter
stoned,
question.
so that's not my fault.
Rico, we're not going to let that happen again. What's your question?
Is this a warm up?
No. So what are your favorite or most common ways of committing time fraud at work?
Ooh.
Mine today, I came up with this question today because I was particularly not wanting to work. So I would turn tiny little snack breaks into like 10 to 15 minute tasks. So
Hell yeah.
I had like a little tiny thing of yogurt, and I was like, yeah, this will probably take me like 15 minutes to eat. And I used that as like YouTube time. And then, my other example, I guess, is that just like drifting off. Usually I have YouTube in the background, and I'll often just like drift off into watching it for like 10 minutes at a time. And that feels good. And, yeah.
I like to. Do you use Outlook for your mail, Rico?
Unfortunately, yes. At work, I do.
So I'm sure most people do, and most people could probably relate. I will purposefully book time on my calendar that's not already booked so that no one will book it. So I'll like just take up like 2 hour swaths of time. I'm just like, no one wants to talk to me here, or I don't want to talk to anyone here. So I'm just going to book it as busy time. That way no one can fucking bother me. And then I get to do whatever the fuck I want. At my old job, I haven't done this at my new job because I have a little bit more respect for them. But at my old job, I realized that with Microsoft Teams, it'll time you out and it will look like you're away if you're away from your computer for too long. So I would open up a Word document. I would take a paper clip and I would jam the paper clip underneath the F key, and it would just continually type the letter F, and it would always look like I was at my fucking computer.
That rocks.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Totally worth
I have a funny story about that kind of. We use Teams at work, unfortunately, as well, and it's awful, and it almost always is incorrect. Like I'll be working and it'll say that I'm offline or like away, and sometimes it'll say I'm offline. Like it just doesn't detect that the program's even open. It's so fucking bogus. I spent like an hour of my workday writing a program that will move my mouse a tiny little bit every so often.
Nice.
Turns out Teams uses some other algorithm for detecting that your computer is running, so that hour was completely wasted. It just doesn't even work.
Do you want to know another way,
sucks.
Rico?
Bummer.
Take a PowerPoint
Yeah.
presentation,
Yeah.
put it into presentation mode, and then it will not show you as a way.
Okay, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Clever.
What exactly is Teams?
It's
It's
a
an IM.
chat app, but also
It's a
like
chat app.
calendar, video,
Yeah,
chat,
it
stuff like that.
Tries to put
Yeah.
together like quite a few things that Microsoft
Mhm.
already owns.
Yeah,
Companies-
it's like instant messaging with Zoom calls.
Companies use it
Okay,
because they
I
get it
gotcha.
for free if they use other Microsoft products, but it's a
Yeah.
fucking garbage application. It's
Okay.
terrible.
It
I
sounds
mean,
like
it-
something
it
I would
does
have no
what it-
reason to use. So
It does what it's set out to do, which is IM and take video calls. And for what it's worth, I think it does it fine. I just hate the premise of it. And I think I would rather appear offline than away. Because like if it says offline, you'd be like, oh shit, I didn't realize that it said offline. But if it says away, then that like actively means you didn't move your mouse for like 10 minutes and you're actively not near your computer. So there's a little bit less deniability when someone says that you're not working versus being offline. You're just like, oh, I didn't know.
So I just started a job where we actually work with both Outlook and Teams. And Dave, I vividly remember you telling me about you blocking time that you don't want to do things. And I work in a pretty small department, and we all work in the same building. So I can't really get away with it too much, but I could say that I'm gonna go I'm gonna go off and do something in like the another part of the building to review something on my own or whatever, and then I'll just like fuck around on my phone for like an hour.
It's the best.
and
I fucking love time fraud.
At my previous job,
best.
I used to like our department wasn't super busy, but we always needed somebody in the department just in case. And I didn't want to go float to other sections of the hospital, so I'd always grab like the supply carts, and I'd always be like, "Oh, I have to finish stocking this, and I have to put all this stuff in the room." And then I would hit the volume button on the side of one of our phones, which would make the phone ring, like to test the ringer volume. And then I would fake a phone call with somebody.
that's the classic way to do it. It's faking phone calls.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
faking phone calls. I do it all the goddamn time.
I used to do that, or I tried to do that a couple times when I was working in the cube. This was like early into me working in the cube because like as soon as they put me in the cubicle, I immediately just hated my job more than anything else. And I did not want to work. So I would try to fake phone calls. And then my boss actually called me out on like, I've noticed that you've been off the hook a little bit. Why is that? It's like, I've been trying to fucking, get some work done without the phone ringing.
How did he find you out?
Because he could see all that stuff on his computer. He had like a little program that monitored like all of our phones.
That's such fucking
No
horseshit,
bueno.
dude.
Yeah, it sucked. I was not happy about that. He was also I've talked about him before. He's a piece of shit. But when I found that out, I immediately I already hated the job. But as soon as I found out that they were like actively monitoring our phones that way, like that was where I would do everything in my power to come up with reasons to like not be at my desk. Because like there were other tasks that I could do like in the warehouse and stuff. So I would come up with every reason I could to go out in the warehouse and do stuff out there as opposed to sitting at my desk and answering like customer calls. Because that shit sucked. I hate talking to customers. Customers are dumbass bastards.
Smitty, I'm super sympathetic to your cause because I hate work and I do time theft all the fucking time. But also, that's the fucking reason why your boss has software to spy on people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I totally.
It
get that, but
exists
fucking,
because of jackasses like you.
Yeah, I know. I understand it's not a chicken or the egg sort of situation. Like, I just had to be a little bit more creative. So,
What I've also done as a travel nurse is one of the hospitals I did. They had a like a small office that used to be like an assistant manager's or something, but they cut that person. So the office is empty. And again, for the same reason, like I want to make sure it looks like I'm busy. So I would I would try and find like a book or a policy binder or something that just has hospital policies. And then I would have one that would have either like a medical journal, like a digest that has all these articles. And then another section that might have like an advanced certification book, because usually hospitals have at least one of these 3 things laying around. If they have more than one, I'll put them out on the desk and just look like I'm either trying to learn how the hospital wants things done. I'll look like I'm advancing my accreditation. And people are like, oh, if you're focused, I'm not going to bother you. And as soon as they leave, I take my phone back out and finish watching the movie I started.
That's awesome.
Do you guys watch Seinfeld or have watched Seinfeld?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're familiar with George's mentality at work that if like you look pissed off, no one will bother you.
I also modeled
that's
that.
also
It's great.
kind of true.
Yeah, as long as you look like you have something on your mind and that you're angry about it, people will assume you're busy.
If you look
True.
exasperated and you walk quickly.
Yeah, right.
That's also what I do in the store, and I have yet to have like any of the satellite dish company representatives or anybody approach me about anything.
Yeah.
It's fucking sweet.
I don't understand. Well, I mean, I do understand because not everyone is as time fraudulent as we are. But honestly, fuck those people. There's people that I work with where my Outlook calendar trick wouldn't work because they make their meeting titles. Well, you know what? Actually, they could be faking it, but they make their meeting titles visible. So when you go to see if they're busy on Outlook, it's like, oh, it looks like I wanted to book you for 9:30, but you have a one-on-one with your, your supervisor. You have, a team building call at 3:00 or whatever. But now that I think about it, you could fake that just as easily too.
Fuck yeah.
Is one-on-one team call, is that code for gonna go jerk off?
For me, it is.
Yeah.
I book one-on-one time. Be my dick.
One-on-one with people that nobody else on your team has ever heard of.
Yeah.
Me and Glinko got a one-on-one.
Who's Glinko? I don't think it doesn't sound
Have to
familiar.
approve Glinko's time cards at 3:00 for 2 hours.
Just edging is the meeting name. For an hour and 57 minutes,
Your
and then
meeting
there's
name
a
is-
3-minute meeting
It's just
finishing.
time fraud.
Sorry, boss. Do not interrupt me during my goon block.
Oh man,
Shit.
I am satisfied.
I will say, like, as a teacher, like, there's no, like, you can't really steal time as a teacher because, like, if you're not actively teaching, you're watching the kids. The
I
only
was
time
gonna say you could just like would a teacher committing time fraud essentially just be like the days the teacher brings in the TV?
yeah, but I guess kind of.
Yeah, like that's as close as you can kind of get to it. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
you're still
pretty
watching
much.
the kids, but
Because, like, if you're gonna steal time, like, you can't just go wander the school or like go to the bathroom for 45 minutes.
Yeah, unless you call in, you're like, I'm not coming into work today because I don't fucking want to.
Yeah, but then you're spending your own PTO.
Yeah, that's not
fair. I
time
guess
fraud.
I didn't think about PTO.
Yeah, like the only way I can think of to like is if I like have the kids working on something and then I go and like go into the supply closet to like shitpost on Twitter for 5 minutes.
yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Cool.
Rico, you satisfied?
I'm very satisfied. Thank you, boys.
Does it
Time
make
for a
up for
fucking
the
rocks.
butter question?
Yeah, we talked about it for like 200% longer.
Was this decent or
Way
meh?
longer, actually, like 1,000,000% longer. What's up?
Was
I
it
would
decent
categorize it as
or
decent.
meh?
It was in my decent category.
You gotta read off how you categorize it when you read off your question.
Okay. I'll
No, because
try
I
and
think
remember
that sets expectations. If he
it
says
probably
one
does.
is meh, like
well, maybe if
my
you did it
my
last
competitive
episode,
my competitive side's gonna be like, nah, I'm not gonna let it be meh.
Well, yeah, maybe if he said it last time, like this is a decent question, and then we just fucking breezed right over it.
Yeah, but if
Maybe
he says
I'll-
it's decent and then it's not decent, then I'm just gonna shit all over Rico.
It was a
But if
Maybe
he
I'll
says
have
it's
to do
meh,
it for
then I'm
the
gonna
meh
have to prove
ones.
he's not meh.
I'll only do it for the Mad ones in the future. Then you can amp up it a little bit.
Like, I had a mad question, but we talked about it for 45 minutes. Hell yeah.
Smitty,
Return on investment.
you're next before the tornado comes and takes you away.
That's very kind of you. So this is a question from my wife. It is
Question mark?
what if in order for machines to work, They didn't have an on-off switch, but they had like a robotic dick that you had to suck.
What?
Like she's clarifying. It's like it's like getting a vape to work, so you suck on it.
That's how you get a vape to work.
So
Yeah, I
the
know.
question is the question,
so, like,
what if?
if I
Yeah,
wanted
the question's like, what if? What would that be like?
so if I wanted to flush a toilet, I had to stroke off the flushing mechanism on the toilet and
That's why I
or
don't
suck
fucking
off.
do it. That's why I don't fucking
Okay.
do it. That's why I don't fucking
She's
do it.
clarified again because I'm a dipshit. She clarified again because I'm dumb as fuck.
You just want her on the show?
She's across from me at the table, so she's right there, and she's like rolling her eyes at me because I'm a dipshit. She says, "What would be the worst device to try to use if you had to
fucking-
suck it off to use it?"
A patient ventilator?
I'd say a fucking
Taking
toilet,
the air
dude.
away.
I would join Scott with not flushing if that was the case.
You just have to, do it in front of all the other men standing
Yeah.
at urinals next to you.
Mhm.
You're pissing at a concert venue and suck it.
You got a line
You
of
have to-
30 people. Be like, I gotta suck it real quick, otherwise it's not gonna flush.
So do you just suck it really quick, or like do you have to like does the robot have to finish?
Do you have to suck it really quick? Does the robot have to finish? Sometimes it gets a little clogged.
Then I ain't gonna suck it until that thing cleans its shit out, man. That's fucking gross. I'll suck it, but it better be clean.
What's it clogged with?
Yeah.
Resin.
We still talking about
cum?
vape pens?
Oil.
It's clogged with the hydraulic fluid that you gotta suck to circulate. I
What
guess
about-
I don't know.
What about things that you like? Is it just for something that you have to like physically turn on with a switch? Like my refrigerator is plugged into the wall. I don't have to like walk over there and suck that thing all day, do I?
I think she meant just like stuff that like if you have to press like flushing a toilet, turning on a video game, starting a car, turning on like a PS4. You know,
So what about my laptop here? Do I have to suck off every key?
Just the
No,
power.
You just have to
to
suck
turn your
it on to
laptop on.
turn it on, or you have to blow into it to turn it off. No, you suck it off to turn it off.
I like it better that every key is a little dick.
Okay, par for the
never
course
thought
for you.
When I start up the podcast, do I have to suck my microphone before we get started?
Yeah, you got to suck it to start it.
Okay. Well, I mean that's
Suck
how we
start.
started up anyways, so that doesn't
Use-
change.
You're gonna use a gas chainsaw. You have to suck it a couple of times because you know how
Pretty
you
much
have to
entire
do a
goal.
ripcord sort of situation.
Gives a new meaning to two-stroke engine, am I right?
Mhm.
Heyo. You're right.
That It
Suck a
reminds me
vacuum
of the-
cleaner to turn that on.
It reminds me of the South Park episode when they had the car that was powered by like you would steer it by like jerking it off and like bouncing up and down and stuff. Wasn't it like a car like a bicycle or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those like Omni things, right?
Yeah,
Where
like
you,
a one
sit
wheel?
in it or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, one wheel.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
that-
I probably
that-
would have found an alternative way to turn
would
something
suck.
on.
Some guy's like blowing a computer with lots of tongue, and some guy's like, there's got to be a better way to do this.
Shocking
There's
the shit
just
out of me.
not.
Yeah, I got nothing. There's literally
Yeah. I
I don't want to live in this
suck.
world, man.
That'd be bad.
Yeah, your car would that'd be tough.
it
would
would be
suck.
kind of funny around like Thanksgiving when you're like trying to cook like 8 different things. You're like, I need somebody to start sucking on the oven real quick so I could throw the turkey in there, and then I need somebody over here to start sucking on the air fryer so I can toss that stuff in there.
Mhm.
That's all I got.
Don't
Power
suck
to
the
Applebee's.
don't suck the oven just yet. I've got a pie that's in there, and then we can set it at 345, and then you can suck it again.
At Applebee's, they only suck the microwave.
How would you start your
Yeah.
car in the winter?
You
could-
Yeah, because
could
it would
remote
be
start
it'd be
it in
shriveled.
another-
So I mean,
Could you get a
it-
remote dick to suck to transmit the signal to your car to start it?
Just on your keychain.
Get a little dick.
You gotta it's like a ring pop dick.
Yeah, it's got a
remote suck to start.
1,000-foot range on it. I mean, because
You
I,
have to-
I want to scrape ice off my car. Just suck a dick for a little bit.
You get your mouth stuck to it if it's like an external dick on the car, and it's cold.
Yeah.
Be like the fucking kid from A Christmas Story.
Mhm.
The firemen probably get a lot of calls about that.
You know, Smitty, to your point of this, like, there has to be a better way. But also, like, why do they make everything shaped like a dick? They could just make it shaped like a not dick pole.
Say
Yeah,
what?
you're right. Why did they do that?
Like, it
in
could be
this
shaped
world?
like, it could just be shaped like a pole.
Oh, like a rod or something?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have, but they like purposely make each one
With some
look like a
character.
dick.
I would be much more inclined to try and start these things that, like, if you had to finger them to get them started. Like, everybody would just carry around like a box of gloves because you don't know who else's fingers have been in, you know, that kind of stuff. But I'd much rather finger something. I probably wouldn't think it's definitely not as weird as sucking it off.
Gotta flick the clit to flush
Or you-
the trough at Soldier Field.
I can't
Even
find
better,
it.
you
That's
have-
why I never flushed.
Even better.
God damn it, Scott.
Even better, you have to suck and finger
Oh God!
for some of the more intricate ones.
Suck is to start, fingers to sustain.
You're trying to flush the toilet, and it's not
Finger
working,
instinct.
and then it prompts you to stick a finger in.
Maybe the catchpa is
Prove you're not a robot.
yeah.
All right.
Suck the stick.
Suck it, finger it.
It just like ejects out of your computer. It's got its own little compartment in there.
Starts as a floppy dick.
You'd think in
Can't
this
you-
world where everything
I hate me
is
too.
prompted by sucking, someone would have also maybe built like a sucker.
No, see that would be illegal because you'd be what would you call that?
Yeah, you just buy a
don't know.
fleshlight everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. You buy a
Yeah.
flashlight, just use it on the poles.
Yeah.
On
Thing
the
is,
dicks.
though, each of these dicks has their own captcha dick inside. So
But
you
you-
have to suck the dick's captcha dick.
If
So a
anything,
fleshlight wouldn't work.
you'd have to suck the fleshlight to start that.
Robot
I mean, only if it's like the
dicks all the way down.
Be circumventing government regulations by inventing a device that allows you to suck things without your mouth. It's
Smitty,
like
my
getting
mouth
your
would-
friend
my
to
mouth would
blow
be
into
tired.
the DUI thing in your car so you can drive home.
I would have a tired mouth.
Yep.
That's my answer.
Mm.
Be really good at giving blowjobs, though. Like everybody would be.
Would you even have to be good at it, or would like the machinery not know if it's good? Like, could you just like put your lips barely on the tip and just
No, there's no artistry to it. It's all brutal face fuck.
Oh,
Really sloppy.
well, this sounds like the machine. Yeah, never mind.
A machine can't feel.
At least not yet. Are you
Okay.
satisfied, Smitty's wife?
Are you satisfied?
How the fuck would I know?
Sure. Let's move on.
She can't fucking hear the answer to her own question.
Jeez. How the fuck should I know?
How the fuck should I know? She what?
She's talking shit.
Did she hear me say cooter?
No, she said. Did Rico silently huff air out of his nose at that question?
Oh, did you tell her what I said?
She'll hear it.
All right.
Rico's talking mad shit.
Smitty's wife.
That's fun. Hey, so we're at
That's
mid show, and Scott, you have a brand new
I do.
mid show segment. So take it away.
I'm gonna call this show "Ask the Fucking Boys," and this is gonna take some audience participation to probably be super helpful with these. But we can-
Audience or us?
listeners, we could do whatever. I think it'd be great with some listener suggestions too. I think that'd be something they could write into. Let me figure out where I had that stuff. Basically, I'm going to look up a WikiHow article, and I'm just looking at the like number of steps, and I want to see if we can try and come up with the same steps or something pretty similar for a process that we probably have very little to no knowledge about. And then I'm going to read off the WikiHow and see how far off we are.
All right.
Okay.
How's that
Let's
sound?
do this shit.
Sound good?
What's
Let's do
what's the task today, Taskmaster?
The first task is how to do taxidermy.
Okay.
Okay.
And just to give you a heads up, the opening image shows a picture of an iguana. So we're not talking about like a dog or a cat, at least with this process. So
And you're supposed to
Okay.
tell us how many steps there are? Is that correct?
This one had 4 steps. It said there was like 3
that's it?
methods. It said several methods, but in total it looked like 4 steps. So
But
That's pretty quick.
each is this parts? I'm on WikiHow now, and it says there's like 4 parts to the one that I'm looking at, but each one has like multiple.
You're not supposed to look,
Yeah,
Rico.
Yeah,
fucking
you're
I'm looking,
cheating.
no, I'm
Well,
looking, at,
cheating, you
I'm looking at a
motherfucker.
different one. This is
Jesus.
for if I do it.
mine
You
just
can't
says,
pre-plan something for later. What
yeah,
the
I'm workshopping this as we go. I
This
was
is
just gonna
Scott's time.
try and come up with this shit, and then yeah,
All right,
So,
step 1,
step
kill
1.
the iguana.
kill the iguana, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Acquire
find a
dead
dead
iguana.
or find a dead iguana.
Step 1, have dead thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have
okay.
a dead animal.
Find carcass.
Well, they
Acquire carcass.
carcass.
Oh, God.
Buy taxidermied animal at store.
Okay, hold on. Now I'm starting to understand this. It says method 1 of 3, but
Swipe
there's
card.
like 3 or 4 steps per method. So
Yeah, motherfucker.
okay, so step 1, acquire carcass is what we said. Do we want to go like all down our list first and then compare it, or compare each step?
Let's just yell out steps.
Okay, so acquire
agreed.
carcass, step 1.
Step 2,
Get material.
acquire sewing materials.
Okay,
Formaldehyde or whatever they use nowadays. Oh, they don't use no. What the hell? We're not embalming it. It's just
Well, you should. I
You,
think.
you have to
Do you?
gut it at least. That's
you
step
gotta-
3.
Yes. Oh, so
Yeah.
okay. Step 1, acquire carcass. Step 2, get a knife
And sewing equipment.
and sewing equipment. Yeah, sorry. Gather tools.
Step,
Step 3.
well, so no, you don't actually gut it, you skin it.
Yeah. Step 3.
Step 3, skin it.
Incision.
Yeah, skin it.
Step
Skin it.
4,
Sew it.
taxidermy it.
Toss the
throw the
guts.
rest of the fucking owl.
Toss the rest of the remains into your garbage can. Even though you just took the garbage out yesterday.
You're supposed to put it in the freezer, otherwise the bears will get to it.
Okay.
A lot of bears in my neck of the woods. I
remove
get
the
it.
eyes. We got to keep the eyes.
Keep the eyes.
Yeah,
Is it
because you're
step
gonna put
3?
the eyes. Sure.
Well, that's part of
keep the
skin
eyes.
it.
Step 3, keep the eyes.
Isn't taxidermy like all just over like a pre-made like a foam shell or something? You just
Yeah,
like stretch
you
the skin.
essentially
Well, it's like
you
metal
put its
armature
skin
too,
on like a
but-
on
Yeah.
a mannequin.
Yeah, but how does the
Including
skin
the
not go
eyes?
rotten?
That's where the formaldehyde
Magic.
comes in. That's
You,
epoxy.
you bake it for a while or something. kind of like jerky.
Do you
You dip it in
Wrap it
resin.
in clay.
like? I guess I would understand drying out like the skin or whatever, but that's just going to make it shrink and make it smaller.
That's why you just buy a smaller mannequin.
Step
Why
4.
is this iguana a
Step
third
4.
of the size? The iguana I gave you.
My iguana
the
turned into a
iguana part
leopard
doesn't
gecko.
matter, but yeah.
Fucking
Step 4, marvel at your creation.
With your hands on your hips.
Damn, I did a good job. I'm a good taxidermist.
Step 5, put it on your
Taxidermized the
mantle.
hell out of that thing.
Taxidermized. All right, I'm going to read down the list.
Give it back to the kid who brought it in after his iguana died, and his parents bought it for him
The kid you stole
As
it
a-
from.
as a farewell gift.
The dead iguana, you put like little sunglasses and a little hat on it. Like he's on vacation permanently.
Fucking A.
So
Let's hear this shit.
according to WikiHow, method 1 of 3, first steps preparing the animal, and that recommend freezing the animal until you're ready to prepare it. To be safe,
Yeah,
freeze
acquire
okay.
carcass.
Yeah, okay, acquire carcass.
Okay.
And
so
then
we
it
were right.
says, and then it says perform basic taxidermy in the meantime using a sharp knife, a sewing needle, thread, stuffing, or plaster cast of the animal.
Acquire
Borax,
sewing equipment
alcohol,
and a knife. Well
or
done,
your-
boys.
preserve,
Yeah, you
or your
gotta have
preferred
booze.
preserving agent. So formaldehyde. Look at
Yeah,
that.
there we
Fucking
go.
A.
We're not that
Right.
dumb.
2 for 2, boys.
Is anything about keeping the eyes.
So
and skinning it.
with this method, they break down the fact that you need to prepare the mold, and they're talking about making the mold. I'm not. Oh God! Here we go. Step 3: remove the skin. The picture that they have for this
Yeah.
is gross.
Yeah. 3
what-
for 3.
Whether you're going to preserve an iguana or a bobcat, the process starts by removing the skin and preserving it. Fuck yeah! Yeah.
Why those two?
Using a sharp
Whether
knife,
you're
carefully. Oh God! And the picture below is a fucking robin. Who preserves robins? Using a sharp knife, carefully cut a seam up the belly, being particularly careful not to puncture any of the organs or body cavity, which can ruin the skin. Work your knife evenly along the inside to loosen the skin while peeling it back with your other hand. Remove as much of the flesh and fat as possible. Okay.
This seems like way more than 4 steps.
This is some Dahmer shit,
This
dude.
is-
I don't like
Well,
this.
I don't
I'm
like
reading
this.
the descriptions. Okay, I'll make it. Okay. So, yeah, it's like method 1 is about preparing the animal. It's weird how it has it split. So it's probably more than 4 steps. It's probably more like 12. Method 3 is preserving the skin. So
I can do
it
it
wants
in
you
4
to
steps.
tan the skin of animals or use an alcohol mixture to preserve reptile skin.
Doesn't tanning use heat?
I don't know.
If you're alive, yeah.
According to this, method 3 is arranging and caring for the taxidermy. So dressing the form, basically putting the skin over top of something, then sewing it shut.
And the hat and the sunglasses.
And then displaying your project. And hat and sunglasses.
Proudly.
That's
with your hands on your hips.
You can give him like a
We
little
win?
fishing rod and a little sign that says "Gone Fishing."
Boys, we were 4 for 4.
That's pretty good. Rico, if you want to do yours, you're more than welcome to, but I do have a second one in case you guys want to try that one too.
I
But
do
also,
have
how's
one
the
available.
time, Rico?
But also, how's that
Uh,
time, Rico?
Time's pretty good. I'll just read the titles of each one when I read it back, so it'll be quick. Mine has 4 parts as well. Well, 4 parts, and then each one has potentially like up to 5 steps. So we'll say 20. It is
20
titled
steps.
"How to Give a Lap Dance."
Ooh.
Okay.
Step 1: get consent.
Oh, that's
No,
a
fuck
great
that.
first step.
No,
I love
sorry.
that shit.
I don't agree. Step 1, acquire butt.
Acquire butt.
Step 2, acquire lap.
Step 2, acquire that.
Okay.
Step 3, be
No,
sexy.
I'll agree to the consent. That's definitely part 1.
Okay, so we can put that at the front, and then step 2: acquire butt. Step 3:
Step 2, acquire butt.
lap.
Step 4, gyrate.
Step 4, dance.
Well,
Gyrate.
step 4: put on dancing shoes.
Yeah.
Step 5: dance,
Gyrate.
Okay.
gyrate, wiggle,
Wiggle.
Thrust.
do a little bit of undulation.
Okay.
I'm imagining like a person doing the Pee Wee Herman dance where he does like where he
tequila?
touches his hands in the front and then he touches the hands in the back.
As the person in the chair is slowly getting a fucking massive erection.
All right, boys. In the interest of time, I'll run through these million steps. Part 1 is not getting consent. It is setting the mood.
Oh no, that's wrong.
With
That's
the consent.
coercive.
Yeah.
No,
Very
no, you
cool.
get consent and then you set the mood.
You
Don't
wear
give
a sexy
surprise lap
outfit,
dance. It's not acceptable.
and then you play some sexy music. You dim the lights. You pick a sturdy chair.
Well, that's
So,
important.
getting your equipment. Make your partner sit in the chair. Make. Notice the word.
Force.
Make. Yeah.
Sit
Part
down.
2.
Not cool, WikiHow. Come on now.
Have a sexy approach. Number 1, strut into the room. Number 2,
Like
maintain.
a rooster.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
exactly.
I need to send you guys the image of this. This is hilarious.
Like you're bobbing your
Um,
head and like pecking at the air. That's right, babe.
All right. Open up the Discord. We can make this like incorporate this into the arts. People know. Maintain the right expression.
What the fuck?
Big toothy smile.
Dude, that looks like somebody
Big
drew one of the
toothy.
mannequins I work with. Holy
Yeah.
shit. That is
Number
gross.
3, circle the chair. Number 4, have a
What the
seat.
fuck?
Number 5, wrap one leg around the back of the chair for support, and then the other.
Oh, they're giving directions
Just
for a
doing that.
specific type of
Oh,
dance.
yeah, this
Yeah,
is
this is like they're in cowgirl right now. Wrap your arms around your partner's neck. Tease your partner. They're like doing a little kissing. Show off your moves. Bend down like a sex goddess.
Okay.
Do a simple
Okay.
figure 8. Touch yourself.
simple.
Wait, hold
figure
on.
eight.
Do a simple figure 8.
Yeah, with your hips,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, with your hips.
Oh,
Touch yourself. Shake your butt.
where?
With your
Bend your
hips, man.
back.
Oh,
So I got the gyrate part right.
She looks like she's putting her hand down her pants. On WikiHow. Bend your back even further. That's another step. Bend your back even further.
snap your back like
Dance
wet
behind your
kindling.
partner.
Wet kindling.
Step 10, become paralyzed from the knees down.
Right. Make a graceful exit. This is part 4, the last part. Unwrap one leg from the back of the chair, then the other, except this, I don't know. They got their shit out of order because you're supposed to be behind your partner at this point. So you're unwrapping your legs. You place your hands on your partner's shoulders. Keep your butt perched in the air. Just to keep it sexy. Use your body to move yourself into standing position. Number 5, the last part, stay sexy.
Wait.
Ooh.
When did it say make a graceful exit?
This was the 4th part, and then there were sub parts.
Oh, I thought they were just gonna like be done and then just walk right out of the building.
No, you got to keep it sexy.
The
You gotta stay
I would
author,
have loved.
the author of this is definitely on a list somewhere.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
weird.
Yeah.
I would have loved if like step 4 or 5 was ask for consent.
Like you get everything prepared and you're like perched to start dancing. You're like, oh, by the way, do you
Yeah.
consent to this?
Make them sit
It's
in the
not
chair.
coercive or
Make-
anything.
Make them sit in the chair.
You say no, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
pretty long.
I dig the segment, boys.
This
It
rocks.
needs a little polishing, but it's pretty fun.
I dig the segment.
That picture
as
sent
a
to the
premise.
chat is fucking me up.
Dudes, I have a question for you here this week. In March of 2023, the TSA, which are the people that are at the airport that do your security screenings, that federal agency officially declared that peanut butter is a liquid.
Hold on a second. Excuse me.
Yeah, what?
I have my own thoughts about it. Every year, the TSA will release a list of their top 10 catches. And in 2000, I have this year's list. And at some point during this question, I'd like to go over it. But in 2022, at John F. Kennedy International Airport, they discovered that a gun was hidden inside a jar of peanut butter. So I'm more under the impression that people they realize that like people can try to put things in jars of peanut butter and sneak them through. However, the fact that they premised it by saying peanut butter is now a liquid kind of pisses me off. So my question this week is number 1, is peanut butter a liquid? And then part 2, what is a liquid? Like, are mashed potatoes a liquid? Is whipped cream a liquid?
Apparently.
I'm still shocked at how people think putting it in peanut butter is like a lead-lined wall through an X-ray machine.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
What the
Like
fuck?
peanut butter, you can X-ray through that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
you should
sure.
be able
What
to see
the
the
fuck?
shape of a gun in like a plastic outline. Like what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Also, it'd have to be a pretty small gun.
And then they open it up. They open up your suitcase and see it's just a thing of Jif, and they're like, "Ah, you're good, bud."
A big
Sending
thing
out
of
to-
Jif, like Smitty said, that's
Yeah.
got to be like that's not just like the one that you buy for your countertop. That's like the
Yeah, it's like an
tub.
assault
the
rifle.
big
size.
one. Yeah, the tub that you get, and they're like,
I was
"Sir,
imagining
this
like,
is your
somebody-
only item in your carry-on. What the fuck?
It's
just
quite
peanut
possible
butter.
this was in their check bag.
Well, you can take guns in your check bag.
I mean,
Yeah.
it could have been like an illegal gun. It could have been something without a serial number. It could have been something that was loaded. Not
with
quite
peanut
sure,
butter.
but
Yeah, it just blorps out when you pull the trigger.
Yeah,
I was
they're like,
imagining like somebody sticking their hand into the peanut butter jar to grab the gun. They grab the gun with their hand on the trigger, and then they can't pull the gun out because their hand is stuck.
and then when they finally do, it fires a peanut.
Yeah, or just like just a dried plug of peanut butter.
Chunky.
That dude fucking ruins his gun. I
It fires a
smuggled it in
peanut, and then like a shotgun, the shell shoots off, but it's the whole peanut.
Guess who's drawing that for artwork?
It makes like a squirty noise, like a.
So is peanut butter a liquid?
No,
No,
it's a plasma. If anything,
it can separate out into like the oil, right?
Yeah, and if you
Yeah.
heat it up, it becomes more viscous, but
so
it maintains its own shape.
so is
it's
that a
closer to a-
non-Newtonian fluid?
I was just going to say it's closer
Yeah.
to a non-Newtonian fluid than it
Yeah.
is a liquid. What separates a liquid and a fluid?
I don't know. I've been using them interchangeably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I guess the adjective
assumed they
non-Newtonian
were.
is what changes it.
Like I don't know, this whole like TSA thing, like not having, or like, yeah, you can't bring more than like 3.4 ounces of any liquid or gel, I think is what they say. So like, what about like mashed potatoes? I would argue that's probably a similar consistency to peanut butter as far as like viscosity.
I classify
is-
them both as a gel more than a liquid.
Well, how are you defining gel?
If I put it in my hair, is my hair going to hold its shape?
I mean, boogers will qualify as that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, and
You could hide a gun in boogers, Smitty.
A jar
You
of
gotta know.
boogers.
Yeah.
there's just
Don't
like
check. Excuse me, Mr. TSA. Don't check the booger barrel. This is for my use only.
Or like, I was talking to my wife before this episode. Like, you know how you make whipped cream, right? You pour heavy cream into a bowl and then you just fucking whip it. At what point does it become a solid?
That's so stupid. You just
Like,
whip it
at what-
good,
at what-
man.
At what point do you have whipped, like just heavy whipping cream, and then at what point is it solid whipped cream? When does it cross over?
I don't like this question because I feel stupid.
Yeah, yeah. I don't like this,
You
man.
make me think too much.
Yeah,
No, I like this question. I'm just kidding.
I'm glad we all unanimously at least agree that peanut butter is not a fucking liquid.
Well, like it's not like a solid though, because it's too plastic to be like a solid.
Does it hold its shape?
It does,
It
but it's
does.
also like easy to. I don't know.
I mean,
But
it's
if
kind
you
of
were
like
to, like-
clay, like modeling clay, for example. You could mold that to a container,
But it's
but at the same time, you could roll it up into a square and it will hold its shape.
it's also thick enough though. Like, is it viscous, high viscosity or low viscosity?
low
right?
viscosity.
It's not viscous enough. It's such a low viscosity that like it wouldn't completely take the shape of it, right? It will have like peaks and valleys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a liquid would just like fully, it would be like flat at the top, right? It would like fully take the shape of it, or
Would
whatever it's in.
if you held a peanut butter jar upside down without the lid, would it just eventually fall out, or would it stay in there?
I don't think
Probably
it
for
would.
a
I think
long
Depends
period
on
of
the
time.
ambient temperature.
That's
that's
fair.
true.
And
Yeah,
what,
same thing with the
planning
Dairy
on.
Queen Blizzard.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say like at room temp, like 70 degrees, especially if you had like a chunkier peanut. Well, no, I'll even say creamy. If you buy like Jif Creamy,
Mhm.
I don't think that would come out.
I don't think it
It
would either.
probably would take a long time.
Not without like some force, like you know, like the old glass
Gravitation
ketchup bottles.
force.
You'd tip it upside down, but you still have to smack it.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing that to the peanut butter, like providing some sort of back force, I don't think it would ever come out.
Well, also it's so solidly packed in there. There's no way for, or it would take for fucking ever for air to get in to even push it out.
This is
Yeah.
reminding me very strongly of some bullshit urban legend that I heard a while ago of like old glass. You know how if you go to an old house, the glass is like a little bit thicker at the bottom near the
Mhm.
like the sill, like some bullshit thing where it's like glass is actually a very, very, very thick liquid. And that over time, if you leave it like a pane of glass standing up on its end, eventually the bottom is going to be thicker than the top because it's slowly migrating down.
What's the actual reason it does that?
I have no idea. I didn't actually look into it other than I'm pretty sure it's bullshit.
But
I've never seen a house with a thicker lower window.
It's only
not by
only
much.
like noticeable, and yeah, like if it rattles,
Mhm.
you're not going to tell the difference.
and
looking
it's
at it.
usually the
Oh.
part that is thicker is not the part that you see, because it's usually
Okay.
seated.
And the thing is, like with a lot of like glass panes, how many of them were made by a machine that wasn't calculated properly? Like if you didn't calibrate it for a long time, you're going to have so many panes of glass that come out angled.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's weird, man.
Or like, what about like solid things that? What about solid things that act like a liquid together? It's like sand. Is sand a liquid?
No.
No, it
But
acts.
it
like a
acts like
liquid.
it.
It acts like a liquid, but it isn't a liquid.
Is it more liquid than fucking peanut butter?
No,
Depends on
A
how much
handful-
water is in the sand.
A
If you have
handful
dry
of
sand,
sand,
it's different than
yes.
wet sand.
One
But that still
sand
takes the shape of a
granule-
container.
Oh, I don't know. That's weird. I
I
don't,
don't
like
think that's
this,
the only.
man.
That's not the only thing that makes a liquid, though. That's just a property of the liquid.
Right. And an individual grain of sand, separate from anything else, will not take the shape of a container.
Yeah, it's solid as fuck.
Anyways, do you want me to go through the top 10 finds of 2022?
Are there
I
any
kinda want
sex
to.
toys on the list?
I do, but
I
I
don't know. I haven't done this yet.
You
So
haven't even looked at
TSA's,
it?
Bad
No,
dragon
not yet.
dildo with a gun inside.
so here's the top 10 catches of 2022 from the
grape
TSA.
jelly with a gun inside.
A jar of goober.
PB2.
And you guys
and
actually
extra
bought
gun
Goober
parts.
before?
Yeah.
It's been a long
Yeah,
time since I've had
probably
goober.
like 15 years.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Do you
That's
know
the
why it's called
pre-mixed
Goober?
Peanut butter and jelly there, Rico.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Why is it called goober, Smitty?
Because peanuts are called goobers.
That's cool.
I learned that from SpongeBob.
Yeah.
So number one on the TSA's 2022 list, soiled money inside of crutches at the El Paso International Airport.
Soiled?
Soiled money?
Why would you
Soiled.
piss on money?
Ma'am, I shook
don't
my
know.
money.
Number two, an inert grenade at the Milwaukee International Airport.
I think I heard about that one.
I can see that being like an honest mistake if you buy that, like thinking it's just a decorative shell or something from like an antique store.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
but you
try
would
to
check
pass
the
any
shit out
sort
of
of
that, though.
Well, yeah, I'm not stupid,
Yeah.
but this person I can see a little bit of like, oh, okay, I guess I can understand.
Mm.
Number three, an electric cattle prod inside of a guitar case. That was at Washington Dulles International Airport. Next one is a gun inside of a PlayStation at the Atlanta International Airport.
Nice.
Next one is
That's smarter than the fucking peanut butter.
PlayStations are liquid, actually. I don't know if you guys knew that.
you can only take 3.4 ounces of PlayStation.
If you leave the PlayStation up on its end, eventually all the circuits at the bottom will be thicker.
And when you
the
shoot
next
your
one,
gun, peanuts come out.
the next one is drugs hidden in hair scrunchies in Boise. The next one is a knife hidden in a laptop in Richmond, Virginia International Airport. Then we have a gun in an arm sling in Rochester. The gun inside the peanut butter at JFK International. Here's one of my favorites here in Fort Lauderdale. A gun inside a raw chicken.
What the fuck?
I'll never
Yeah,
check this.
TSA won't know what hit them.
I mean, it's
fucking
a
ridiculous.
good defense too, because you could blame the chicken.
Yeah. Or like the other person's like, no, you can't x-ray my arm, or you can't x-ray me. I have a sling. How the
I
fuck
like
are you going to
the-
hide that?
You can blame the chicken as if it's so raw that it's actually still alive. And you can
Yeah.
just point at it and be like, no, he stuck it up to himself.
It's still mooing, officer.
You don't want to touch that. It's full of salmonella
It's moving.
and a gun.
And the last one is fentanyl
Walk
inside
on
of
that.
candy wrappers. That was at LAX.
Yeah, okay.
Why
Sounds
did the
tough.
other person try and like smuggle a knife somewhere? You can find those fucking everywhere.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like $7.
You could go to like
I
a
imagine
gas
he probably
station
wanted
and
to go
find them.
stabbing on the plane.
They probably sell them after the TSA check, like other things that they sell.
Yeah, with a
like food and
40% markup.
stuff. Mhm.
You would buy our knives.
You could turn
There's a
anything into a
bounty
shiv if you really
cleaners.
wanted to.
I don't know what TSA or what city it's from, but there was a TSA from some city somewhere, or it could have just been the TSA Instagram account. They would post pictures of stuff they confiscated, and there was a significant amount of posts that had like the Mall Ninja like knives and stuff. Like they're really like flamboyant looking knives, or like fake ninja gear and shit like that. Those are always fun to see.
Yeah.
A katana hidden in peanut butter.
Yeah. Set of
Anyways.
nunchucks stuffed inside a turkey.
I'm satisfied. I was wondering if one of you guys was going to play Black Sheep for the peanut butter, but I'm glad that we're all in agreement that that's pretty stupid.
Some of us have standards, man.
I bet
It's just
somebody's
science,
written a
dude.
paper about the liquidity of peanut butter.
Actually, there's a YouTube channel that is roughly what inspired this question. So they actually did a test on the viscosity of peanut butter at different temperatures. And some of them, when you get them to like 100 or 105 degrees, they'll start to flow. So they get a little bit more viscosity. But then like the chunky peanut butters, especially I think it was like the Jif chunky, even at like 100, 105 degrees, it still would not flow.
Weird.
So, yeah. Anyways, I'm satisfied. Scott,
Yeah.
Does that leave you?
It does.
Fuck yeah.
Boys, I want to ask, how long is too long? And I have a couple, specific parts, but how long is too long to look around the store for something before you decide to finally ask for help or order it on Amazon?
Man, I will spend a long time walking around before asking somebody for help.
So will I.
Like going to the grocery store, I'll walk around for like 15 minutes without saying something to somebody.
Yeah.
And that might not be long enough.
I've also have gone into a store looking for something, and if I can't find it rather than asking, I just decide to leave the store and go find it somewhere else.
I've also done that.
Shit.
If I can
You guys are like
pinpoint where it's
antisocial motherfuckers, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
if I can figure out where it's supposed to be, like if I'm looking for like malt vinegar and it's not where it's supposed to be in the store next to like the salad dressings, like I'm not gonna ask somebody like, hey, can you go check in the back? Like I'll just go buy it somewhere else or go without. I'll convince myself I don't want it.
Part of it for me is like the antisocial thing, but also at that point it becomes like, I don't know what the word is, but like, no, I'm gonna fucking find it. Like,
Oh,
determined.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Or like, the second you ask somebody, like it's right in front of your face, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
I'm a fucking idiot and an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my
becomes like a
determination is
trial.
based really heavily on whether or not I feel like the employees even know where something is. It's like
Yeah.
Walmart's a good example. Like I just have this feeling that everyone at Walmart doesn't even know that they're at Walmart, let alone like where the obscure item I'm looking for is.
The example that I was kind of talking about was goes back to when my most recent ex-girlfriend, when her and I had sex for the first time, she's like, oh, go to the store and go buy condoms. And I was like, okay, cool. So I like fucking sprinted out the door and everything. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get laid. Went to the store to go buy condoms. I could not fucking find them whatsoever. I was around the pharmacy stuff. I was in the same aisle as the tampons. I looked up down the aisles of medications. I looked at the pharmacy shelves themselves. Couldn't find any. And I didn't want somebody to be like, quick, I need you to help me find condoms. It's an emergency. There's a gas station like right down the corner. So I just like went in there and got like the 3-pack. And yeah.
I don't think I would ever ask for where the condoms are.
Yeah. That's why I left
You
the
asked
store.
for where the family planning section is.
That's actually probably a much better way to ask about that. And then I bet
Right.
you a good, like Dave said, a good portion of the people are like, what the fuck is that? Oh, you mean like condoms and shit, right? Yeah, those are there.
You don't go to like some fucking Walmart employee and be like, hey, I gotta wrap it and I'm gonna fuck, but
Why not?
where the
I
Jimmy hats
I know
at?
where the condoms are. I just wanted to tell you.
I'm just bragging.
He like Scott's skipping down the aisles.
Yeah. I'm like, guys, I'm getting laid and I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt. There's hope. There's hope.
Yeah.
Not much, but there is.
Skipping down the aisles, you hear like the flap of his dick hitting his thigh because he's got a boner.
Alrighty.
Like,
So,
damn, that guy's
So
fucking
how
weird.
how long do you guys even ask for help? Or like if you go to Home Depot, that's a little bit different.
I will tell
Mhm.
you, I went to Menards today and I bought some stuff. I could not find their 1x4, their 4-footer 1x4s. So like 1 inch by 4 inch boards that are 4 feet long. Okay.
Yeah.
There is not a section for them out in their yard where they have all their other lumber. There should be a section. There's not. They're not in the store. I bought them, like not a lot of them, just a couple of them, and they're cheap. But I asked a person as I was leaving the yard, I'm like, hey, where are these? Because there's not a place for them where they should be. And she's like, oh, I don't know. And she didn't even bother radioing for anybody. She just wanted to move me on.
Yeah.
She answered
Like,
your
oh,
question.
okay.
She's committing time fraud at work.
Yeah.
It's
Fuck yeah. Boys, how long is too long to wait for a freight train before you decide to try and go around?
5 minutes.
It depends on where I'm at.
Yeah.
Because actually, Scott, there's a freight train that runs right through your town, and that's usually my number one way out of town is that route that goes right past the train. I'll probably wait there like 10 minutes before I move around because there's not really a better alternative route.
Yeah, the one that's right by my apartment and you never swing by or anything or mention when you're coming over?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one?
No, it's way north of that.
You said my town. I'm just giving you shit.
Well, it is your town, but it's the north end of that town.
I was on call and got called in and got stopped by a freight train, and I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? And I was like, do I just like floor it and try and find a way around and hope that that's just as fast as waiting for the train to get finished?
I feel like there's very much like that anticipation, like almost like when you're switching lines, when you're in traffic or like at the grocery store, and you're just like, as soon as I get into this line, that's when it's going to slow down.
Yeah.
I have the same thought at a freight train. Like as soon as I get out of this line and turn around, the train's magically going to fucking end.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like the gambler's fallacy or some shit, right?
Right.
Yeah. And I go through that.
Or some cost fallacy or something.
It sucks. Like I do that all the time, and then I just end up pissed off no matter what.
Yeah, there's no winning
think,
up.
Probably 10 or 15 minutes. Same thing.
Yeah. And
Depends
then
on how badly I have to shit too.
that's a fair point. That is a
Hey, weren't you stopped at a train recently and had to shit, Smitty?
Yeah, dude.
How'd that go?
Did you turn around?
Made it
Did you
home.
poop your pants?
Pants were clean.
Oh, damn.
Did you sit on the side of the road?
No, man. Like so my house is literally like within. I can see the railroad crossing from my front door. So
Did you jump on the train, climb to the other side, and then jump off?
no, the train ended before I got home.
All right.
So it was before I shit my pants. So I was all good. I was able to get home and fire it out in the proper receptacle.
Was it like such an emergency? Like, you know, the ones where you pull
It
your
was
pants down
cramps.
and you start to like you start to take your seat onto the toilet and the shit start to come out before your butt has actually touched the seat?
Yeah, it was pretty close to that where I was like hovering for like a quarter of a second and shitting.
It's never a good feeling.
No,
No.
it was an
No, it's
emergency.
not.
Well, it's a good thing that
Yeah,
train
that's the kind where like
was
you
done.
can't take your wallet out of your pocket, you can't take your keys out of your pocket. You just like come in, shoes, everything else,
Yeah,
straight
like
to the fucking shitter.
it is like a mission that you need to complete.
like you're unbuttoning
Yeah.
your pants as you're walking in the door.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wearing basketball shorts so I could just yank them down,
Oh,
but
fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
it was real bad. It was like I was cramping and I was like behind the wheel and I was like white knuckling the wheel.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I cannot shit my pants in this truck. I will never live it down because it's also not my truck. So
Oh,
Oh,
borrowing my dad's truck to haul materials from Menards.
God, that would be
So like, I will shit my pants in my dad's truck. I would rather die than do that.
probably.
yeah, I
Gross.
agree.
Lastly, boys, how much time is too long to wait at McDonald's for your food when they tell you to pull ahead? We'll bring it right out.
If I've already paid, like maybe like, I think after like 20 minutes, I'll go in and like say something.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever drive off without it though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not if I paid for it.
It's either that or you
Definitely
go
going
back
inside.
into the drive-through line again, and you're like, "Did you fucking forget me?"
No, I'd go
say
inside.
Probably 10. I'd go inside.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
So let me kick you a scenario here. What if it's late and they close their lobby at like a certain time, but the drive-through is open? So,
Well, then I
you
would.
so you can't go in.
Then I'm gonna park and then walk through the drive-through.
Walk up to the drive-through window.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's actually pretty smart.
yeah.
I have a little bit more sympathy late at night.
I do too,
Mhm.
but still,
I feel like they
there's
have
a
to make things fresh.
20 minutes, like Smitty said. That's a pretty magic number. Dave, there was one time I came home from your house and I swung through McDonald's on the way home, and I swear I waited like 20 to 25 minutes, and I'm like, I realize that there's staffing shortages and stuff, but like, I ordered like a double cheeseburger and a small fry.
The one by my place?
No, this is the one closer to my town on the outside.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say the one in my town's been decent for what it's worth.
Yeah. But I was like surprised, and just sitting there in the car, like I get it. It's a kind of a hard thing to staff for, but what the fuck?
Have you ever jumped out of the drive-through line?
Maybe, but I don't know if I really have had a good reason other than that. Like the line felt like it was taking forever.
Yeah, like
There
I don't think
was,
I've ever jumped out a line before.
There was one time that my wife and I went to Baskin Robbins. This was back when we were living in Illinois, and we didn't have like a Dairy Queen close to us, but it was summer and we wanted blizzards. So we're like, oh, there's Baskin Robbins. They probably have something that's at least equivalent to a blizzard. So we went through the drive-through and we pulled up, and we didn't see anything on the menu that looked close. So I figured I'd just ask the guy. So I asked him, I was like, do you guys have like something along the lines of a blizzard? And the guy on the other side gave me like Butthead vibes from Beavis and Butthead. He just gave me like an and then his response was, do you have anything equivalent to a blizzard? His response was, we have 2 scoops in a cup.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah,
Just mash them in there, buddy.
Yeah, just get a potato masher.
2 scoops
Yeah,
in a cup.
put some milk in there.
Yeah, turn it into a liquid.
Does Baskin Robbins have like all the assorted toppings and shit, or do they? Just
I
have
don't know,
different
man.
flavors?
I don't really go to
They have
Baskin
32
Robbins very
flavors.
much.
I thought they just have flavors. I don't think they have toppings.
I didn't know that. I don't go to Baskin Robbins.
They're only for ice cream purists. You cannot put other stuff on. There's no accoutrement available.
Yeah, it must be mixed in already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You ever go to Cold Stone?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Been quite a while.
It's been a while too. I went a couple times when I was in college, and the last time I went, it did not occur to me how gross it is to have this big ass table where you just mix the ice cream, and they're not wearing hairnets. Something about that just does not strike me as good.
The hairnet part, yeah. I mean,
Do they wear
Like
hairnets?
they wear
at
the
hats,
table,
but
the table doesn't really gross me out. I mean, it's
Yeah,
what's wrong with that?
like hair and shit? I don't know.
I'm sure it's worse at like a McDonald's or something. You just don't see their countertops as.
Oh, I'm
as
sure
closely.
too. I've probably eaten a million people's hair at this point in my
Oh
life.
yeah, we're
I don't. Even
We're
wanna
probably
think about
more-
that. Gross.
right.
How many gnats have I eaten in my lifetime?
You're probably just breathing in people's pubes and skin cells.
Oh,
All the time.
constantly. My mouth has pubes
my
in it all the
fetish.
time.
Yeah, pretty fucking satisfied.
Cool.
Hell yeah,
It is pretty cool.
I agree. If you like what you hear, you can leave us a rating or a review on your podcast directory of choice. Also, good news, boys. We are officially now on the YouTubes. So you can catch all of our
Oh, yeah.
episodes now. If you choose to listen to podcasts on YouTube, which I know some people do, which is a little weird to me, but whatever. You can now catch us on YouTube as well. Leave a comment on YouTube. Leave a like. All that good stuff. Voicemail or text
Like
your
and
question.
subscribe.
Thumbs up.
Voicemail or text your question 708-433-9153 or submit it through one of our social medias, which is what Michael Hall from Lessons with Michael, that question at the beginning of the show, he opted through Twitter. So thank you very much. At ImQuestionsPDC on Twitter, r/Important Questions Pod on Reddit, and the Important Questions Podcast on Instagram. Trying to be a bit more active on the Twitter profile. So if you like a good shit posting podcast page, that's the kind of place I'm trying to weasel myself into there.
I've
Our
noticed
Twitters are so different than our podcast.
I've noticed you started a shit post with a Twitter, and I fucking love it.
I
Excellent.
was listening to the most recent episode, the one where we talk about garage sales and stuff, and it's just like dad talk, a lot of it. And I don't say that as like a bad thing. It's very comfortable to listen to.
Which is funny,
But
and
also like
ironic.
compared to like Dave posting ass a bunch of times with exclamation points. I don't know.
I can do that here too.
Yeah. I'm
Save
saying
that
we've
for another week.
diversified a lot and we've grown and we're delightful.
I'll save that for another week.
Uh-huh.
Keep
Hey,
it in your
Rico.
drafts.
Hey,
Did you know that $1 a month can get you bonus content through our Patreon page?
I didn't know that. Tell me more.
Well, if you go to patreon.com/the important questions and choose to donate the $1 or higher tier, some of the other tiers I think say that they come with more things, but no one's ever donated to those tiers yet, so we haven't done any of those things. But the bare minimum $1 tier gets you that extra episode on the last Tuesday of the month that no one else fucking gets, which is a bonus episode week only for those Patreon donors.
Thank you for telling me about that, Dave. I'm not going to do that, though.
You're joining the majority of our listeners, bud.
What's the sample size these days?
32. 32
So we
listeners.
have 2 donors, and we're getting roughly 70 downloads per show. So I'm very disappointed in 68 of you.
Womp womp.
Hey, Smitty, did you know $1 a month can unlock bonus content?
I already knew that shit, dude. Shut the fuck up.
Shit,
Stupid
dude.
asshole.
All right, stick around for post show. We have a discussion on the episode 16 urinal use question. We put it out to a poll. We have the results, so stick around post theme for that. Any final thoughts, dudes?
No.
Nope.
All right, suck my balls. Suck my fucking balls.
Is that how we start? Is that how we turn you on? We suck your dick to turn you on?
No, well, unironically, yes.
Oh, all right.
There's a subreddit specifically dedicated to flaccid cocks getting hard as they're being sucked.
What the fuck?
I've only
That's
I've
a
not
niche-
frequented
that's a niche
it
group.
much, but it's called like r/soft suck or something like that. I don't know. But if you start with a boner, that's grounds for banning. The GIF has to start with a flaccid cock.
Like completely flaccid?
Yeah, it has to be tiny.
So it can't even be a semi.
No, it's got to be like one of those balloons with no air in it.
I feel like if I was watching the GIFs of those and one of them was like more than 2
Motherfucker,
minutes,
did you
I would
say
get pissed
GIF?
off. Sorry. Yeah, GIFs.
Yeah.
We're not talking about peanut butter anymore,
Yes,
buddy.
it's all the peanut butter talk.
What does GIF stand for? Graphical image format. GIF. Motherfucker. Come on.
So if
man.
I was watching a GIF and it was like 2 minutes long, I would get so pissed off. You have like 30 seconds to get hard or you lose my interest.
Yeah.
It's like Shark Tank trying to coach somebody on
For that reason, I'm out.
giving like an elevator pitch. You got 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
All right,
Somebody's getting
well,
their dick sucked and they like, no, I'm not hard in 30 seconds. You need to leave.
yeah.
Done.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
So, dudes, I ran an official Twitter poll. Do you flush urinals? And we have a sample size of 32.
Okay, that's a
So,
lot.
What do you mean
That's-
official? As
And
opposed to
equals
what?
32.
Meaning it was run on the official @RussellFrodeck account,
It was government sanctioned.
government sanctioned.
What was the
I don't have
answer?
any demographics of this poll. Women could have voted on this.
Ew.
They all flushed
That's
you.
not allowed.
Yeah, they probably flush if they did vote.
What if they universally do not?
But that's I don't know. I feel like smaller, like 32 is enough to where it's like a decent sample size, but it's not like overly enough to where, you know, people would like want to.
Yeah, get on with it.
Okay,
It's statistically
What are the
significant.
results?
drum roll, please. Out of 32 fucking votes, 56.3% of respondents do flush the urinal.
That is much closer than I thought it was going to be.
Wait a second, Scott.
44%.
Wait a second, Scott.
Okay.
56.3% voted yes. 18.8% voted depends, meaning there's situations where they do and do not. Only 25% of respondents, and that's again sample size 32, so 8 out of 32 straight up said no.
What's the depends? Like depends on if it has a fucking flusher and I manually have to do it?
It's the guy who like is at the urinal and he like looks down at his piss. He's like, No, I'm not fucking doing it today. He
Yeah.
just walks
Not on
away.
Wednesdays,
Or
bro.
he looks at how disgusting the handle is and is like,
That,
nah, I'm not
right.
fucking with
It could be that. It
'Cause
could be the
that's-
crowdedness
elbow
of
it.
the
I'm
bathroom.
not gonna, or I just don't flush it and then I still will wash my hands.
I'm
And
so
then,
disappointed all
and
over
then,
again.
and then I don't move from my talking points and I stay on this hill that I'm going to die on.
So that's still a
I
75-25
wanna die.
split of people that at least sometimes flush the goddamn urinal.
There is always
I
time to
sometimes
change as a
flush it.
person.
But you didn't give me the choice of sometimes the first time we went through this.
Under what circumstances do you flush it?
It was like a 10-minute conversation. You had plenty of room to like go into gray area.
No, you wanted,
No,
you
no.
obviously wanted me to be the odd man out.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Under what circumstances do you decide to flush the urinal?
There's not many.
What the fuck, man?
There's not many. No, I can think of way more reasons not to. Yeah, it's just gross.
Smitty, it's your fault for putting him on the spot.
This is bullshit. Fuck this.
Thanks, Smitty.
This sucks,
Yeah.
man. Scott, you're actively making the world a dirtier place, which is like adverse to what you do and
Smitty,
uphold in your vocation.
how am I making it dirtier?
What do you mean? What do you
His
mean?
splashback.
How is it not dirtier to
Dude,
fucking leave
17
toilet
people's
ruminating
pissed.
with piss in it?
It doesn't overflow.
Stinky.
It is stinky.
Aerosolized fucking. Oh my god, I'm not gonna fucking do this shit. I'm getting actually mad.
Mission success.
Fuck this, man. Fuck you.
That's really all I want to do is just get
I don't
Smitty
want
good
him
and
to get
pissed.
Yeah.
I don't get like actually mad often, and this is making me actually mad.
I know that's why I keep wanting to push the
Fuck
buttons.
off,
It's
man.
pretty entertaining.
You're so gross. Do you wash your hands too? I hope to God you do.
I wash my hands and don't touch the toilet because I want to be extra clean. That's why I don't touch that shit. Half of
I
it's
don't
germ-related.
understand. I do not understand how your brain skips over the step of flushing the toilet.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's
intentionally.
like, oh, I better wash my hands. I don't want to
Yeah.
get. I don't want to spread germs.
Do you
Yeah,
flush it? Do you
yeah,
flush the toilet when you shit
Well, yeah.
in a public place?
if okay, in public, if I can reach the,
Only
the
if it's not
flusher,
T-shaped.
I'll flush with my foot.
Wait.
What?
There are scenarios when you don't flush
Sometimes-
after you
Sometimes he has
shit.
to. Sometimes he has to jump. He
Yeah.
said if he can reach it.
No.
Yeah.
I always flush if I poop. I always
okay.
flush. Yeah. But
Okay.
I'm saying like as far as like the urinal thing, if I can reach the plunger thing with like my foot, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah.
They really should make the plungers like on the
gymnastics.
ground so you could step on it or something.
Yeah.
That'd be
Or
neat.
or just
would be really
continue
nice.
making urinals
Mhm.
automatic so we don't have to fucking worry about it.
That too.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was a net positive for humanity, I'd say.
That's why I'm
That's too many
taking my
Scots walking
stand
around.
to not flush those urinals, and they go, we should probably get automatic urinals. Those are much more efficient and much cleaner. And
I know
you-
that's not your intent whatsoever, but okay.
yes, it is. Yeah, it is.
You
I
know
can
what-
see
you
you've
know what I
relaxed
love?
because
Start
of
the
it.
movement.
You've
Yes, it is.
relaxed.
Yeah,
I
it
can
is.
see the shoulders are going down a little bit. Your face is
Uh,
less red. Your
I'm
waveform
smoking
is much
weed.
smaller.
Has nothing to do with you.
Fuck you, buddy.
Do you know what I love about this poll? I love that the fact that out of a sample size of 32, 8 voted no, which is a 1 in 4, and we are also a 1 in 4.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
I fucking love that.
Yeah.
I
32 is
also
a
love
pretty
that.
big that's a lot more people than I thought would vote in that.
What
was.
is the actual statistic on gathering statistics on like how big your sample size must be for it to be good? I mean, that's what
I don't know. I could put it up to a Twitter poll.
8 times our size, like the amount of population that's asking that question. I don't know.
I'd
Right.
say 32 is substantial
art,
enough
man.
to
I
at least
don't know.
make some sort of judgment call.
No,
I think that's good enough to write an academic paper on and get peer reviewed.
as long as we
would
peer
agree.
review our own journal.
You can extrapolate the
That's
hell
right.
out of anything.
Yeah,
As long as there's 4 of us, we could peer review each other.
just multiply it. Just multiply the answers, and then
Think
you're
a
good.
pie graph.
So if there was 64, then 16 of them would say no.
And then you
That's
just
how it works.
re-simplify it
Whoa.
because you never want to make it complicated. So we're back down to
Yeah, you got
So we're back down to 1 out of 4.
to find the lowest common denominator.
that's fucking awesome.
Okay.